Good morning, dear students of Class 8. RAJNI Joshi here to present before you a poem, The Ant and the Cricket. It is adapted from Aesop's Fables. Now, before we enjoy this poem, let us know a little bit about the Aesop's Fables. Children, you all have done fables, a story which has animal characters and which convey a moral, a message. One such fable which you did recently was from your book, It So Happened, and the name of the lesson was How the Camel Got His Hump by Rudyard Kipling. Now this poem is from Aesop's Fables. It is a collection of fable story which is written by a slave and storyteller called Aesop, who lived in ancient Greece. Now this poem has a message, a moral. It is about two characters. One is ant and the other is cricket. Cricket belongs to grasshopper family. It's an insect and ant is an insect. You can see both the characters on the picture here. And you are familiar with ant and also grasshopper's cricket. Now these two characters in this poem, ant and cricket, they are also stands for human qualities. Ant, a hard-working person, and cricket, a four-legged creature, but also here refers to man. Now, let us enjoy this poem. I'll recite the poem for you. You listen to it carefully. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground, not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me. At last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain, a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. Says the ant to the cricket, I'm your servant and friend. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear sir, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Said the cricket, not I. My heart was light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say? Oh then, said the ant, and danced the winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Now let us look into this poem line-wise. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing. What was the quality of the cricket? Silly, stupid, and young, and always used to singing. Accustomed means used to. When warm, sunny months in the summertime and in the springtime. But suddenly, one day he found his cupboard was empty. There was no food stored. And winter season had started. There was not a crumb of food to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not even a flower, not even a leaf on the tree. As in winter season, everything is covered with snow. Now the cricket became worried and he said, "What is going to become of me?" So he was in hunger, pangs, badly, without food, and he was dripping, all wet because of the rain. He was dripping and he was also shivering with cold, trembling with cold. And whom did he go to? He went to the ant. Miserly, not ready to give. Always very miser. This quality the ant had. And he went to the ant for some help. And he asked the ant to give him some shelter from rain and also some food. And he said, "I'm not begging. I just want to borrow and I'm going to pay you back tomorrow. And if you will not help me, I'm going to die of starvation, hunger and sadness." You can see on the picture in the slide, the cricket with the umbrella on his head. He is approaching the ant, requesting her to give some food. Now, what did the ant reply? The ant said to the cricket, "I'm your servant. I'm ready to help you anytime. I'm also your friend. But we have one rule. We all ants have one rule. We neither borrow, we neither take from anyone, and nor we give. But I want to know one thing from you. When the warm weather started, what did you do? What were you doing when the weather was warm?" And the cricket said, "My heart was so happy. I sang and sang the whole day and night, and the nature looked very beautiful." So the ant said, "Now you yourself are saying that you sang. Now you go and dance in the winter time. And this is how you are going to pass the winter season." Saying this, the ant lifted a wicket, a stick, and shooed out of the door the poor little cricket. You can see here how the ant, they are shooing the cricket away from their house. Now, this poem is a fable, as was said earlier. The moral of the poem is that if you do not work, if you cannot work, you must learn how to work without food also, how to live without food also. So, one has to be very hardworking and always be prepared in advance for living a good life, like the ant. The poem has many beautiful figures of speech, which beautifies the poem, which are like ornament to this poem. There is personification. What is personification? We find that ant and cricket, they are insects, but they have human qualities. Ant is very hardworking and cricket is lazy, happy-go-lucky type, doesn't believe in working. There is alliteration. Same sound is repeated. Two words of same sounds are together. like sunny, summer, spring. You see them all in a line. Weather, warm, sound. Then these are examples of alliteration. There is metaphor in this poem. Two things are compared. Some crickets have 4 legs, some have 2. The poet is comparing lazy creatures, lazy and careless people with cricket. An ant is compared to a hard-working person. Now, we find that there is contrast here between ant and cricket. The message of the poem is hard work, planning in advance, which is very necessary for all people. You see that when you plan in advance, then you are able to do your work nicely. People who are hardworking, like ant, they always rise in life. And people who are careless, they have to suffer. Then ant is wise, hardworking, always planning in advance for the future. The cricket always borrowing, believes in borrowing. But ant doesn't borrow and nor lends. The poem warns us that we should not be like we should not be like cricket, but we should be like ant, working hard, planning for the future. The message of the poem, Ant and the Cricket. If we enjoy today, we are going to suffer tomorrow. The cricket just spent days singing and dancing, whereas ant was working very hard day and night in summer. So in winter, the cricket was without food, was dying of starvation. In this narrative poem, the poet brings out the idea of hard work, planning in advance, which is very important for every human creature. So thank you, children. For your home assignment, you are going to read this poem, watch the video lesson again, and at the same time, you are going to look for the rhyming words in the poem. Now the first 2 rhyming words I am giving you. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring. Sing and spring, the last lines, they are rhyming words. Sing and spring. Fine? So after reading this poem, you are going to find out the rhyming words. Thank you, children. Hope you all understood and enjoyed the poem and also learnt a lesson from this poem that you will be like ant, hardworking, and you will always be preparing in advance for the future and not be like cricket, who was always enjoying and did not bother about future. Why the cricket had to suffer. Thank you, children.